Hey there everybody, Groovy here, coming at you from the Grindhouse. Right now it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just got done watching the final episode of Season 1 of Marvel's Moon Knight. Now, I do have some thoughts about the season in general, but I am going to try to keep it contained to mostly the end of the season here, and we're going to get into spoilers, and this is just going to be a quick little rant, about some of my thoughts. Alright, so I was kind of disappointed with this episode of Moon Knight, and I was disappointed in the fact that I felt like ultimately, while there was a cool fight at the end of the show, I do feel like it was a little anticlimactic. I was kind of miffed at the way that they dealt with Harrow at the end of the show. I was like, okay, they beat him. It happened off camera. And I thought that was so stupid. He got beaten off camera, and then they have a post-credit scene where he gets shot by, surprise, Jake Lockley, the third personality, which apparently speaks Spanish for some reason. It's kind of weird, right? I guess he's kind of like an Anton Chigurh kind of character or something like that. Just goes and just murders anybody that gets in his way, But it was kind of stupid because Layla was right there when he blacked out and he beat Harrow, but he was like, I blacked out. And then everyone's dead around him. Harrow's ass is kicked. She's standing there like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? Like, is that not your first question? How did we get to this point, Layla? Tell me what happened. Yeah, you blacked out and started speaking Spanish and beat the shit out of everybody. Did I change into a different Moon Knight thing? I don't know. That could be a thing, but other than that, I thought that was pretty lame. I thought that was kind of stupid. Now, another thing that kind of miffed me was that because this is Marvel and it still has to be kind of a somewhat family-friendly franchise, right? Even though that they killed Steven off in the end of episode 5, like 10-15 minutes in episode 6, Steven was back because realistically, how do you kill a figment of your imagination? Which was my thoughts going into this when all of the sad memes were going around last week. This is why I wait until the full season is done to do the videos moving forward. I can't be doing this on an episode by episode basis. So that tied together with the fact that Mark's already come back to life twice in Moon Knight as far as we know. Death doesn't really mean too much for these characters, so even if they did trap Amit inside of Harrow's body and then Jake Lockley went and killed Harrow, does that even really mean anything anymore? I mean, specifically with the supernatural corner of the Marvel universe, people are going to be coming back to life left and right before we know it. Watch it. But one thing that I did like that they did was they actually gave a little bit of a power set to Layla, right? By making her an avatar of Talawrit? Anyway, they gave her her own Moon Knight powers so that she could help out in the fight against Harrow at the end of the episode. And I thought that was pretty cool because I actually really liked Layla throughout this season. I thought she did a really good job. I thought the actress was fantastic. She was kind of cute and adorable, but at the same time, she was tough. She wasn't a damsel. You know what I mean? She was a great character. I thought she was handled really well, and I thought the actress May Calamawy, I believe it is. Not sure on that pronunciation once again. I thought she did a great job, and I hope I get to see her do some more acting. I gotta look and see if she's got any other genre roles that I might be kind of interested in checking out. But I thought she did a great job. I thought Oscar Isaacs did a great job. I thought Ethan Hawke did a great job. And other than that, that was the entire cast of the show. I mean, you have F. Murray Abraham doing the voice of Khonshu, and he's got a great voice. He's got that wonderful timbre that someone like me could never hope to achieve. But yet we press on. Other things I did like about this episode as well, I did think that the CGI did look a little bit rubbery, and I still wasn't sold on the Moon Knight bandaging wraparound transformation. I do think that the final episode had some good action in it. It did have some really nice spectacle. No CGI sky lasers or anything, but there was a giant ass crocodile fighting a giant ass birdman, kaiju style, out in the middle of the desert, which I'm sure nobody will ever talk about in Marvel ever again, because that's just how they deal with things. Absorbing the souls of people from the nearby city as it fed on them, this giant crocodile god did. Yeah, that's definitely not going to make any newspapers. That stuff was kind of fun, but there was some messy editing in there, which at times made it kind of hard to understand what was going on, even though I did really like the dual switching back and forth between Mark and Steven as the Mr. Knight and the Moon Knight kind of costumes, with their own way of kind of dealing with the thugs and the kind of little mercenaries and guys that were following Harrow around. That was pretty cool. And all in all, I thought it was a decent episode, but I still think it was like a bit of a disappointment. There was such an opportunity to tap into the wider Marvel stuff as a whole, and they didn't even drop any groundwork for Werewolf by Night or anything like that. It was kind of a letdown. There was no Blade. They really didn't tap into any of that. They kind of even dealt with Harrow off screen because he blacks out, he beats Harrow in the fight. They're like, what are we gonna do with Harrow? They almost kill him. They're like, no, we won't kill him. And then they cut to an after credit scene where Jake Lockley goes, gets him out of the hospital, and shoots the shit out of him. But again, does that really mean anything when people that have had the shit shot out of them have come back to life in this episode alone? It was just as easy as Mark saying, no, I don't want to go right back to where Steven was and just go help him out of the sand. And boom, there we go. Steven and Mark are back to life. I guess. But it was kind of interesting. There were some interesting elements. I hope they do some fun stuff with the character in the future, because there is still a lot to explore with the character, obviously. And there's still a great performance to be had from Oscar Isaacs. I thought he did a fantastic job. He really did hold the show together. So all in all, it was decent, but I was a bit disappointed. But that's part of the problem when you have these fan theories and stuff like that. People just start running wild. They're like, oh, this is coming out next. It has to tie into this. Or this movie's coming out in 2 fucking years. So there has to be some sort of build up when at the same time they tell us about the Disney Plus shows that, yeah, this show's going to kind of be more of a standalone show. It's not really going to tie in too much. Didn't they say that about Moon Knight? And that was definitely the case. It kind of existed much like the Eternals in its own little corner of the Marvel universe, which doesn't really seem to be intersecting anything yet. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Did you guys like this first season of Moon Knight? Are you down for season 2 if they do that on Disney Plus? Or do you think that Moon Knight will just pop up in more movies and stuff like that? When are they going to start introducing more supernatural elements of the Marvel universe to the MCU as a whole? Are we going to have to wait till Friday for Doctor Strange for that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments section. Drop your thoughts in there. I always like to read them. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay classy, people, but for the most part, try to stay groovy. Oh, yeah. Boom.